He's back. Let's play yume. 2 weeks passed. Well, I don't remember my last stream, but there were 2 weeks that passed, or 3. I don't remember. But those were some good times, some really good times. It felt amazing. I'm doing the stream without a second monitor, so I don't have my PC plugged in. I mean my TV. I could pick out my HDMI cable that is in the living room, but the reason why I said he's back at the beginning is why I won't take it. I forgot to take it, otherwise I would have done that. But it's okay. You can also stream without a second monitor. Sorry if it's gonna look awkward. I'm gonna have OBS open. Maybe I should do that. Yeah, I like this. I might have doxed myself again. I don't really care. Maybe I should care. It's been a minute since I played it. Matter of fact, it's been a minute since I've played, what's it called again? Silent Hill. Oh, okay. I was shitting my pants for a second. Oh, let me just stay on this screen, because the saving music is like so soothing. I listened to it like a couple days ago, and I had it on loop. I had the 30-minute version of it, and it's so good. Okay. The fan is so loud. I'm not sure what to talk about today. If people do appear on the stream, well, I can't look at what they're saying since it's full screen. Well, I can actually use my phone, but I don't really want to break the immersion, so I'll just continue playing like this. I really like the library. Every time I just look through here, it's like I already entered every single one of these doors. But I probably haven't. Have I? What's this? I've been here. There was like a 3D section one time that I went through, which was kind of crazy, but I didn't understand how to proceed, so I had to wake up. I think that was the last stream, wasn't it? What the hell? Okay. I wonder if this is a bit too loud. I have a school project to do for Monday. At least I have to show my progress, but I'm not sure how to progress in it. Since for one, my camera is This kind of sucks. This is kind of annoying. My camera kind of sucks, and I don't really have a concept of how to materialize my ideas. And it's been like a month since I have consulted them, since we had a different project to do at the same time. But we're nearing April, and it's getting kind of we're getting near the end of the year, which is something that I had to come to terms with this week. Oh, awesome! Perfect. I had like an old classmate who told me that we were nearing the end of the year, and when I really thought about it, I was thinking, yeah, we are. Yes, we are. It's March. It's like the end of March, and the year is gonna end in April, I think. And not in April, in May, mid-May, around mid-May, because we're gonna have our exams and stuff. And it always may appear, it always may seem that it's just gonna go like very slowly, but a month is not much, which is something that I had to come to terms with at some point. I feel like these songs and all that stuff are pretty loud. Hold on, let me check something. Am I as loud as it? Oh no, it's actually fine. Oh yeah, unsurprising plot twist. During that one stream when I talked about this one girl that I met at the art school, and I thought I was gonna text to, I ended up actually watching one of her streams. I'm not sure if I mentioned that she did streams. She was playing Warframe. She does streams and stuff, but I didn't actually. I wrote through chat. We had like a brief conversation about the game, and afterwards I didn't do anything. I just not only did I neglected, like I kind of avoided texting her, but I also completely forgot that I even wanted to do that. Which is kind of dumb on my end. And it's something that I wanted to fix, but there's something about texting people that I really dislike. And then I started making myself excuses, such as, oh, but if I want to hang out with her, I won't have any money to do anything with her and stuff. But it's a stupid mindset to have. Even though it kind of makes sense. There's one topic I want to talk about, but I think right now I don't really want to talk about it. It's about a rapper, an underground rapper who recently released a deluxe version of his deluxe of his album that he dropped in November, that I just had recently discovered, and it's pretty good. And there's a lot of things, a lot of things that are I mean, basically his release, what it implies, says a lot about the current underground scene, which is something that has been boggling my mind for a good while now, especially considering that he's 18 and making really good music. But not now. I'm too tired, and I have to do other stuff, and I would also like to talk about other stuff. I just watched an interview of him, and yeah, I watched an interview of him on Kids Take Over. Really chill guy. He is like, I think he really is a rapper who was made for me. It's like he has his interests, and he isn't too insisting on it. He has like he said um he started making music when he was 11 and stuff, and he said that his main his main reason, his main inspiration as to why he got into rock music was through Crush 40. And if you don't know, Crush 40 is the band that used to make the the main themes for the Sonic Adventure songs. And I think that's so funny hearing that from a rapper. Like from that point, like you can tell like he just loves doing his stuff. Like he doesn't care. He's not all about that aura farming stuff. Like he just does what he likes to do, and he's also very passionate in Greek mythology, which was surprising. And yeah, just hearing him speak, he wasn't even very energetic. He was like pretty laid down. He wasn't on some aura farming stuff, but he was really just talking about what he likes and having a simple conversation with somebody, talking about this music, his influences, and his come up, and you know, I think that's crazy to be like the. Interesting. It's actually a cool animation, but I'm not sure if it's buff. Oh, okay, it's buffering like this because of the animation. And okay, God, this is annoying. I love how, yeah, simply speaking, I just love how laid down he is. This is something that I needed from an artist. To have an artist as young as him represent, yeah, just simply being himself is incredibly inspiring, especially considering the. Sorry, but the animation is actually really good. It's just a shame that it's lagging so much. Because I can tell that this is really good and really smooth, even though it's really laggy. Yeah, it's refreshing to have an artist that is 18 years old, doing his thing, being just one. The thing is a thing that I really needed in music, especially in rap nowadays, and in the underground scene, was simply somebody who was being himself. Simply just having somebody who's just unapologetically himself. When I say unapologetically, it feels like whenever people throw this word, it automatically means that you have to be your display of authenticity needs to be a whole spectacle and a performance in which you have to make sure that other people understand and see that you are being you. And I feel like when you point that out, great. What the hell? I feel like when you point that out, people immediately assume that you're a hater, and you're a hater because you are not really yourself. Like you're not yourself, and you're projecting your insecurities onto others, which obviously can be true, but sometimes things can be nuanced, you know. But this is just online talk. People don't really get it. I feel like in Slayer's case, it's really just he has a couple like nerdy bars. Mostly, he also talks about like his love life and I don't know, like I guess the money he's making, the usual rap stuff you hear nowadays. It's occasional whenever he talks about stuff that he's passionate about. There's a time for it, basically. and it still comes off as authentic, whether it's through the sound or what he's talking about. I really like it, and I would love to compare him to the rest of the underground, but I don't want to talk about it right now. It's been boggling my mind for a bit now, but I actually want to talk about something else, but I forgot. Hmm. Hmm. I have some things on my mind here that I could talk about. Um, Hold on, so there's one thing about a classmate, a homegirl. Yeah, a classmate who is really crashing right now when it comes to our classes. Like she didn't, like, it's like, as an example, she didn't come. Are these houses? I thought these were like guys with mustaches, but no, this is a house. Like, these are houses, okay. She hasn't been around since, like, she hasn't been around much all week. It's kind of unfortunate, because believe it or not, her presence, like when she's not there, it's like it really feels like her presence is missing. I also want to talk about my first clubbing experience. I went to a club last week. Yeah, it was last week. I went to the club last week for my friend's birthday and her other friends. And it was nice. Let me just talk about that. So we had already organized that we were going to the club that time, and when the day came, it was in the evening that we were supposed to meet up and stuff. When I went out, I really felt like I didn't know what to think. I was like, oh my god, like I do not want to go outside right now. And ultimately I did, of course. On my way there, I was just, I don't know, just thinking and listening to music, and and yeah, I ended up seeing everybody, this and that. And at first it was really awkward because we were staying at a friend's, like it's like a friend of a friend. We stayed at his place. We ate cake and talked for a bit. I actually didn't talk much because I didn't know anybody, and everybody was already on their shtick, and I wasn't really in the energy to talk to anybody, and I came off as kind of antisocial probably, especially for those who didn't stay afterwards. So I'm kind of bummed out about this. Like I'm kind of bummed out about that, but I don't feel overly bad about it. Just hopefully next time we see each other I can be a bit more present. But yeah, we just stayed there. Some people already started drinking. No, some people already had drunk, because there was like a before. And they went they went out for dinner and stuff. So they were already drinking there. Then they were at the friend's house. They were drinking there, and later on, like we were calling our other homeboy, because he has some, like he was and is kind of going through a weird phase right now. And what can I say? Like, he came a bit later. He still came for a friend, and I talked to him for a bit about like artists and stuff. Wait, was it already there when I talked about Slayer? Wait, how long have I been listening to Slayer? Oh yeah, it was the same day. You're crazy. I listened to him the same day. Wild. Yeah. So, yeah, the same day I listened to Slayer, I had the birthday and stuff. And is that the same room? Okay, no. And yeah, we talked, and then there was a moment of silence, and that we just contemplated. We ate some cake, and low-key, when I was there, I that did not feel welcome being there. Like, there wasn't really an introduction. There wasn't like anything interactive and stuff. It was a bit awkward. And I tried avoiding my phone, but out of reflexes, I kept looking at it. I tried avoiding it at least, but I stopped. Yeah, I stopped and I just contemplated. I looked and, you know, plus my 4G ran out, so I was pretty bummed out about it. What the hell? All my money? Not that it changes much, but goddamn. Yeah, I mean, then at some point, yeah, we finally headed out. We came, like, they told me to be there at like 9:30 or something, and we only went out around like 11. Yeah, we only went out around 11:30 to go to the club, and that's when we parted ways with some people. Some people came a bit later, this and that, and I was with my homegirl, another homegirl, well, the homegirl who's the homegirl's birthday, like, it was her birthday that day, as I said. Another homegirl. Okay, I'm losing track. Two homegirls, one homeboy, and two homegirls of my homegirl who had her birthday. Voila. So we were a much smaller group than initially, and we went. Yeah, we were on our way and this and that, and then we found out that our homeboy, he forgot his license, like, to not his license, but like this ID to get in. And when we arrived at the club and they paid, like, we paid for the ticket and stuff, they didn't even ask us for the license. And when before we arrived there, he was saying like, yeah, he probably won't go home to, like, I asked him if he was gonna go back to his place to search, like, to find it and to come back and then to get into the club, and he said, yeah, probably not, blah blah blah. And like, when we arrived and they didn't check our IDs and stuff, he just, like, we turned around. He was like, there were two lines. He was following my line with my homegirl's line, and there was another line with the other three girls. And we were chilling, and when we got through and we turned around, he was just gone. He didn't even say bye. So it was kind of weird. And we were all like, yo, where you at? And we tried calling him, like, they tried calling him, and he just didn't answer. And he already seemed like he didn't, like, he wasn't really in the mood to go to a place like this. And usually he isn't really fond of just like clubs and stuff, like, just generally speaking, from what I can gather. Like, he has said it, like, he has said it before, so I can't fully blame him. But I guess at least for your homegirl, at least you could do one thing, especially if it's her birthday, you know, like doing favors, like not kissing her feet and stuff, but just simply having some compassion. What do you call it? I don't know. But yeah, he was gone, and it kind of sucked. Like, we were kind of confused. I wasn't surprised, considering he didn't really like clubs and all that. I did think it was kind of whack to do something like this, and it's not the first time he has done something of sorts. But it didn't bother me. But for the others, it was like, it was, for one, it was weird, and it was like, man, I hate him. Like, man, like, why would you do that? This and that, and this place is boring. I'm not gonna lie. What else? Yeah, there were just like there were like a few instances where they were upset, and they just said, like, they just thought that they were just kind of upset for a portion of the evening. Oh, damn it. But yeah, but anyway, we at least got in and stuff, and we started dancing. I needed to get into the energy, since it was like, what, Latino, Afrobeat kind of evening, French rap, like perfectly ticking the boxes of music that I do not listen to. But I still try to vibe, because I mean, if we're here, I'm not gonna do a bummer. Like, I'm not gonna act like I'm better than anybody else and or from the corner or something like that. And I'm not gonna go up to girls either. So, since apparently these are like places where people go to meet up girls, which is like the stupidest thing you could ever do, personally speaking, in my humble opinion. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? Yeah, it was pretty fun. I mean, we were dancing and stuff, and really need to get into the mood. I got to meet like, well, like the two friends of my homegirl, who are also pretty nice. There was one in particular who intrigued me because, well, I'll get later into it, but yeah, we were on the line. I brought my 3DS. I recorded some bits, took some pictures on the line to store our jackets. And then we went inside. The music was heavy. I recorded a bit. Like, just the general. This looks like Terraria. Just the general vibe. I just recorded the general spot. I remember in the line there was like a girl who tapped my shoulder. She told, like, it was a girl like behind me. She tapped my shoulder, saying like, "Yo, your 3DS is dope as hell" and stuff. It was pretty funny. I'll get to that later if I hopefully remember, because every time I say that I actually forget about what I wanted to talk about. Also, sidetrack. This looks like a contemporary art exhibition kind of thing. Like, I perfectly imagine somebody presenting his art pieces in a room like this, especially with the squares that are kind of weird looking. I can definitely see that. But yeah, yeah, we were doing our thing, and we did these back and forths where we would go out and smoke. And the first time we went out, I was still at a state of feeling kind of nervous, considering the fact that this was like a fairly new environment, and especially with two people who I didn't really know, and which kind of put some sort of pressure on me. But it's so weird to me how easy it is to socialize now, because every time I try to, like, I don't know, like, just simply get to know people. Oh god, I've been here before, right? No, I'm not sure actually. I'm lost. Every time, every time I'm like in a function or some sort of event, and I casually pull out my 3DS, because since I am completely used to using my 3DS, it's like the coolest thing ever for everybody. And I immediately resort to taking pictures and stuff. And in that instance, when the first time we smoked, went out to smoke. I don't smoke, by the way. I took some pictures and it was like all red because all the lights were red and it was really pretty. Ooh. And immediately, this one girl, one of the girls, like one of the friends, one of my friends' friends, went like, "Yo, like this is crazy, this is amazing, this and that," and it made me happy. And like to add some more context, that's a girl that that ended up following me, or maybe I accidentally followed her. I'm not sure, but I followed her on Instagram, maybe, or I think I perceive it in the way where she followed me, and I was surprised that she followed me because I didn't really know her. I only heard of her name a couple times, and then I just decided to follow her back, but we didn't really know each other, and so I just thought, oh, she seems like she's like an alternative kind of person, and likes to dress alternatively and does alternative stuff. I don't know, bro. Like, she seemed cool. Basically, she seemed like an interesting person. That's all I could say. Oh, hard exposition, I guess. I see. I feel like this is a game that my art teacher could probably like, but I'm not sure. That being said, yeah, let me save actually. Why not? Okay. What did I want to say again? Yeah, I mean, she was just a girl who was like a friend of my friend, and I didn't think much. Maybe, and apparently they knew each other for a good while now, which is cool and stuff. But at some point, my Instagram reels started becoming very weird, and I ended up getting a lot of likes from people. Like, I can't explain it, but it's like the most. It almost feels like underground, like very. Oh, great. I can't explain it. Like, it's like those posts that get like 4 likes, and you just end up looking at the weirdest shit that you could ever stumble upon when using Instagram, when going on Instagram, and I have no other way of explaining it. It's just bizarre. People who have, I guess, schizophrenic tendencies, people who make like conspiracy theories, people who write down bizarre stuff. I saw. I've seen too much. I can't tell how to explain it, but it's very, very strange. And at some point, I just had a spree of all these weird posts. And one thing that was interesting was that the girl, the homegirl, the friend of my homegirl, she at some point she always ended up being one of the likers, like one of the people who liked these posts, even if they had like less than 50 likes or maybe a couple thousand likes or like 3 likes. I always saw her posts, like her likes, and I didn't get it. And it was so crazy to me. Like every time I kept scrolling. I remember that it was like a day in July last year. I was with my sister and I told her how bizarre my reels started to become. And I told her every time, like, yo, every time there's this one girl that keeps appearing on my For You page on my reels, that keeps on liking the weirdest stuff ever. And it's so funny, it's so bizarre. And I obviously don't want to be mean, but it's strangely in a way, it's like we bonded around this, which is so hilarious, and which I also get to later. I already forgot what I want to get to later, the first time I said that, but yeah. So this is kind of how I understood her quote-unquote universe. Um, and yeah, so throughout all this time, I never really knew who she really was. I think she had seen my face before because I had posted it maybe on my story or something, but I kind of had an idea of what she looked like. I never peeped her posts, and usually when I see people on Instagram first and then in real life later, I think that's something that people say a lot. But and I feel like even if I take pictures myself, people look so. It's like maybe it's like a me thing, or maybe I'm pretending I'm special, but even when I take pictures of other people myself, it's like they don't look the same. Like sometimes they look prettier in a way, and it's not to take away from their beauty or anything, but it's a strange phenomenon with anything relating to a camera. Like I could meet the most gorgeous person ever, and it wouldn't faze me until I would take a picture of them and I would look at my 3DS and see like, wow, and be more mesmerized on my 3DS than in real life, which is bizarre to me. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just prancing around because I feel like I'm walking in circles. I don't want to pinch my cheek yet. But during that evening, it was the first time we finally got to meet up, and I liked it because she was really nice. We got to talk about my, I sent her I took a picture of her. I took some videos of other people, and I think we had already been there for a good hour, which didn't even feel like it, but it felt a bit long. I think, or maybe short. I'm not sure, but. It's like time becomes a vacuum when you are in a very it's a crowd. It's a space. There's a lot of space, but it's very crowded, so there isn't much air. There's a lot of music. You get kind of dizzy, at least for me, since it was my first experience. I got dizzy very quickly, not overly dizzy, but it's like you have to vibe to the mood of the evening, because if you start if you stop dancing or you start bopping to the beat and you stay stagnant, it's like you lose control of yourself and you nearly start collapsing or something. But yeah, we kept talking and stuff, and I'm not sure if it was the first or second time we went out, but let's say it was the second time. The second time we went out, no, let me say it like this. The first time we went out to smoke, that's when I kind of briefly interacted with her, and that's when I took the picture. And even before that, I hadn't really talked to her at the homeboy's place, and when she asked me if I had seen my other homeboy who went home, I said simply no, and this was like pretty much our first interaction, which is really funny and kind of awkward on my end. Or maybe on her end too, since she didn't approach me at all, so I don't know. Let me think. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, so the interaction was brief, I think, the first time we went out, because I kept staying with another homegirl. Sometimes we did like back and forth, I don't know. And when we went back inside, that's when I really pushed it with the 3DS. And I started recording us and stuff, and we did like a selfie recording or whatever. And we kept talking, and they kept saying like, "Yo, your 3DS is so dope, this and that," and other people around me too. There was another moment where I recorded us together, and some stranger, probably some girl, like I heard voices of a girl like yelling like, he's with this Nintendo and stuff, which is really funny. But I didn't react. I wish I would. I wish I reacted, and I just like turned my head. I didn't want to adhere to the attention, because since that's something, since that's a device that is pretty casual to me, I don't want to necessarily be drawn to the attention. And even though I am drawing, what the? Okay, since I mean, technically speaking, I am drawing to the attention by bringing something as unconventional and as outdated as a 3DS, a gaming console at that too. I am kind of bringing attention to myself. But I'm trying to make it as something like something casual, like it's my phone or something. So yeah. But yeah, I wish when that girl behind me tapped my shoulder, she like I had reacted, because I thought she would tap my shoulder like again, but she didn't, and that's a bummer. It would have been a funny interaction. Maybe I would have taken a picture of the girls, and they would have been like, "Yo, like yo, can you send it to me?" and this and that. And I could have gotten an Instagram or whatever, blah blah blah. I'm doing too much. That's not the point of my. That's not why I'm here. But I just simply like talking to people. Simple as. But yeah, just sidetracking again. Like this, my 3DS. It feels like it has brought me to places that. Yeah, it has brought me to places that I didn't expect me to bring. That I never expected to be at. Maybe not physically necessarily, but when it comes to my projects or the people that I get to talk to now, that I'm a bit closer with, it's really awesome. Like I'm really content, and I like how it also opens people up to interacting with me and being like, yo, you got a 3DS, this and that, and then we can discuss about it. Sometimes I come off as a bit awkward, because every time I have to do the shtick where I have to tell people that I hacked it, and I also take pictures with it, and I get kind of aesthetic about it, aesthetic, whatever. And there's like a level of inauthenticity. Like I feel like I have to impress somebody. And I don't do this intentionally. I just feel like it's just my awkward side of me trying to connect with people, and not knowing how, you know. But that happens to anybody. I don't think it's an issue, and I get better with it with time. But yeah. All that to say, would have been cool if that one girl insisted, because it was pretty awesome. Because the thing is, I didn't react neither, because since we were at such a pretty crowded place, I thought that since everybody was like touching each other and being like, we were really like we were stuffed like sardines or something, and we were all dancing and jumping and singing to the music and with all the lights and stuff. I mean, it's all pretty overstimulating. Not to me, but I can see how it can be very stimulating to some people. So I felt like since we're all just in constant contact, like it would be normal to not sense that feeling of getting, I don't know what I'm saying, but I think it would be normal to not feel somebody touching, like tapping you on the shoulder, basically speaking. But yeah. Yeah, that where once we're inside after the first time we smoked, where we took videos and this and that and pictures and blah blah blah. Yeah, we kept dancing and it was cool and stuff, and then we went out again. And this time it felt like the gap between the first time and the second, like the time we were inside and then went back smoking, It's pretty shorter. Maybe some people went to drinking, and I think some people went to the bathroom and blah blah. But I didn't mind it because I did need some air. So we went out, and that's when I really got to interact with my friends, with my homegirl's friends, who are pretty nice too. Oh my god. God, I'm so pissed. Okay. I just had no. It's okay. I'm not gonna talk about it. What did I want to talk about again? Oh yeah, this is when we really talked, you know. And what can I say? What can I say? What can I say? I'm on my phone. I'm trying to peep the. I'm not sure where you could look at the. What do you call this? Like the dashboard. I don't think you can do it on YouTube Studios, can you? Or maybe I can just go to my stream on YouTube, basically. Yeah, sorry for the delay. Blah blah blah. Here you go. Yeah, there aren't any viewers, are there? Okay, nobody in the chat. Perfect. I love the thumbnail. The thumbnail have been really random, and I like it a lot. I wonder why this one isn't stretched out though, like cut out, like. So every other one, like all the other ones, are perfectly fitting. Ugh, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, that's when I got to really talk to my friend, to my homegirl's friends, and they were like really nice. I talked to one who I talked less to while we were waiting in front of the bathroom while the others were staying. And I asked her what her name was, and she already knew my name. And I mean, I actually didn't know what to talk about. I just wanted to make conversation because otherwise it would have been awkward to just stand there with another girl, and another girl's homegirl on top of that, and just being there standing, whatever, just not being awkward, just making conversation. Because if I hadn't done conversation, she wouldn't have done conversation. I know this game. It's always me who has to whoa, it's always me who has to initiate things. Interesting. Kind of loud, isn't it? But yeah, thank God they didn't stay too long in the bathroom. I think they already went out, and I just kind of followed suit. Like they went out and I followed suit like a bit afterwards, because I was also with her two other homeboys who also went to the bathroom. So yeah, I see. Yeah, so we were trying to talk, and they came out, and then we went all smoking. And the one girl, the Instagram reel farmer. Oh, yeah, that's weird. That's when we talked more about another context, which was funny. The first time we actually interacted, not in real life but on Instagram, was when it was New Year, and there was like a reel that said something along the lines of like, "You're my real competitor" or something like that. On what, like, basically wishing like Happy New Year. You're like, thank you for being my real competitor of 2025 or something like that. And she sent me that, and when I saw the message,